Good afternoon. How are
Good
you? It's been a minute.
afternoon. How are you doing? I
I'm
want
fine,
you to
sir.
share your story with us. You did say you had a similar experience to what the girl went through. You've lost some weight.
Yeah. You know the thing I told you I'm preparing for, so yeah. But I'm fine. We'll talk about that one later. Um, okay, so this is touchy. So if I cry, it's okay, it's normal, right? So as a diplomat's daughter, an ex-ambassador's daughter, I got the opportunity to go to different countries. I left Nigeria when I was 9. So I can't even remember schooling in Nigeria or that experience. So anyways, we went to Germany first. Schooling was okay. The language barrier, I kept to myself. I was skinny, I had the strong accent. I kept to myself. Then we moved to Guinea Conakry. It was cool too, language barrier as well, kept to myself. But once I got to Yankee, once I got to Yankee and they enrolled me in high school, that is when I experienced my own B word, right? The kids in America, mind you, we're both black, right? But because I'm fresh off the plane, because I didn't come to America on a boat, so I'm fresh off the plane. I have the accent. In class, when the teacher asks you a question, 2 times 2, you raise up your hand, auntie, me, I know the answer, auntie, I. That's what I was, I was used to growing up, right? But they will laugh at me and they'll be like, auntie, who's your auntie? Or when it's lunchtime, everybody's going to the lunchroom. They'll be me. They'll make jokes when I'm walking down the hallway. They'll say I'm smelling. They'll call me all sorts of names. They'll call me African booty scratcher. They'll do awa wa 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 wa. All of them, they'll be chanting awa wa wa. Like they'll put me inside the trash can. They'll lock me in the bathroom. Sometimes when my mom makes food for me to eat lunch, I'd rather eat it inside the bathroom because I know if I go to the lunchroom, they will just make fun of me. It's just so humiliating. So when I watched that video, what that girl went through and she kept her composure, I've been there, I've done that. That was me. I'm 32 now, but imagine you just standing there and someone is just slapping you and you're taking it. You're not retaliating, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just standing there and taking it. That was me. And then imagine being put into a trash can and then being locked in the bathroom stall. And that's all your high school memory. I graduated at 15, 16. I have a late birthday. So when I graduated, I was just so happy I was out of that high school. But before I graduated, I couldn't take the B word. I couldn't take it anymore because I'm like, it's either I drop out of school and that'll be bad on my family's name, or I just let my mom, because my mom was living with us then, I'll have to let my mom know, mommy, this thing they're doing to me in school is even getting worse. Rewind. There were the house I was living in the subdivision, right next door, I had a family friend. They just came from Nigeria as well, Igbo family, 3 girls. They enrolled in the same school I was in, but because I was like 2 grades higher than them, I took them like my little sisters. They went through the same thing. That one was even terrible. They will, from the school bus, they'll start being them, the B word, to when they get off the school bus, they'll beat them, they'll drag them by the hair, they'll pull their braids out. It's just so crazy. So the thing is, I want us to be able to have a conversation with our kids.
All right. Before you go any further, I want to say something. All of you that are running abroad with your children. My child get a better life in America. Children, they see what they go through for America. She went to school in Nigeria, she did not have such memories. She went to school in Europe, she did not have such memories. When Daddy Freeze starts talking, really like Daddy Freeze is, if it's so bad, why don't they come home? By the time your children are old enough to come home, they're already damaged. Let's also deal. Yesterday, that's why I said I'm coming back today, that Canada, Nigeria, we are coming back to it. We talk about, listen, in Nigeria, you have poverty. In Nigeria, you have no light. In Nigeria, you cannot make money easily. In Nigeria, abroad, you will deal with the kind of mental health issues nobody ever prepared you for. The kind you have never read about in books, the kind you will experience the unexperiencable, especially in high school. And nothing go do these children. Nothing go do. Last class, they go say, may they not go house for 1 week, may they do detention. I waited they call up.
Yeah, they'll just give them detention or a little, pat on the back. Finish. They're back to school the next day or the next week. It's so traumatizing.
And it is very bad in Canada, and it is very bad in America, and also in the UK. But the worst, I think the worst is America, followed by Canada, then the UK. That UK, if you chook your picking knife, forget knife for him body. We're going to talk. You see, because Nigeria is bad, Nigeria get this one where you see a slap, they slap him. Was that how you were slapped every day?
Oh yeah.
Every day in America.
And like I said, when I couldn't take it anymore, I had to go to my mom, break down, start crying. She said, Kilo day, why are you crying? Kilo Shele. I said, Mommy, I cannot go back to that school again. Only if you want them to carry Okumi and put it inside casket and give you. The bullying is too much. I can't take it anymore. I hate school. My favorite class was English class. I hated going to that class because the teacher was a an African woman. So I had to, my mom was like, take me to that English class that you love the African woman, because that was the only African woman in my school. So I was like, okay. She said, take me there, let's go. Oh yeah, Nisho. She wore her clothes. We entered school. After school, we saw kids coming out. Of course, school was over. She said, take me straight to that class. I went to the class. Thank God my teacher was still there. I forgot her name, but God bless her heart, wherever she is. That was the last day I was bullied. The last day. My mom spoke to her. They went to go and speak to the principal and say, if they touch my daughter anymore, don't you guys have surveillance camera? How does a child go to school? She'll come back home with bruises and feeling sad and depressed, and she can't do anything because we trust your school. That's what we're sending our kids to your school for. We know it's a public school, but damn, so she spoke to the African woman, please, I beg. My child just came from Africa. Take her as your daughter. Anytime they want to bully her or you see anything going, sorry for the word, you see anything going on with her, let me know, call me, let me know, please. So after that, the next day when I came to school, that African teacher, I had a class with her. She said, Oju, call those girls that bully you, that be you. Call them after class when everybody has gone for lunch. We're going to sit in here. We sat in that class. She spoke to every single one of those girls. I remember their names. Tiffany Walker, Tanisha Jackson, Bianca Wilson.
Walker! Come on, here, you're saying they bully. Yeah, I don't want to use the word.
Wait,
Papa.
I still know that it's engraved, it's written in my head. So she spoke to all of them. She said, the next time you guys are black, she's African too, you're black too. Guess what? You came on a boat. She flew here. She probably flew first class. Stop bullying her. You guys should be one. She's smart. You guys can learn from her. If I see any more threats towards her, you're going to be expelled. That was the last day those girls ever touched me.
If ask you a question. So the Oyinbo people never did this to you?
My school was predominantly black, so I'm sorry. So maybe like one Oyibo, but it was a black school. So.
But that one Oyibo, how did that person react to you?
We didn't. I don't think we're in the same grade. But whenever I see that person cross the hallway, the person is always head down, like an emo kid, like just tunnel visioned, because they know what they are going to go through if they open their mouth or try to be friendly with others in school. So they just kept to themselves. Me too. I kept to myself. I'm known as the African Buddhist crasher, the whatever that just came from Africa. No problem. Let me just be by myself. But where I was driving to was after that day, like I said, they stopped. It ended, and then of course I graduated.
Please, you've not called the name of all the bullies, oh. You called Tiffany Walker.
The three main ones. Where do me?
Oh, you have mentioned their name
guess
again.
What? With that Tiffany Walker, yes, I said it with my full chest. Tiffany Walker, what you did to me in high school. Guess what now? You are now, I don't want to mention where you're working now, but you're now asking to be friends with me. You're following me on my Instagram. You're telling me, oh, you're so proud of me. Look at how I've taken life to the next level. Yes, whoever is listening to me on this platform, if you're being the B word, if you're being, leave it. in the front, your greatness is coming. Those people that did that to you, they will come, they will apologize, they will say they are sorry, but you need to speak up for yourself. Don't let them win, because when they have won, you have lost. Don't let them don't let them see that they have power over your emotions, over your feelings, because I think that's what happened to me. But after that, I spoke to the Tiffany Walker. She even follows me on my Instagram. She likes my pictures, my posts, but she doesn't have the mind now to say, Ojolakwe, what I did to you in school, I'm sorry. But I wrote her a message. I told her how traumatized I was by what she did to me, her and her carcass. And you know what? She apologized and said, you know what? My bad. That was in the past. You're glowing. You're doing well. I'm proud of your growth. So they'll always come back and apologize. So whatever you're going through right now, it will pass.
The other one, now Tiffany Walker with Sabi. Who else?
Tiffany Walker was their culprit, that ringleader. Forget about the rest, that the freeze. Those three girls that I mentioned their name, they know themselves, and they follow me on social
the other
media.
two. We didn't hear the other two.
Tiffany Walker, Bianca Wilson. What was the other idiot goat's name? Tiffany Walker, Bianca Wilson, Shenika something. I forgot her last name. But those three Akata girls, they showed, those three young ladies, they showed me Ping Pam. And I don't know if Princess Irele is listening to this. She was my neighbor that I said that moved from Nigeria. They were young, small girls. And I made sure I took care of them, put them under my wings. Day two, they went through their own attacks and everything in high school. But now look at us, we're all doing well. We've grown up. Those kids that did those things to us, they're either incarcerated or they're locked up somewhere, or they're baby mamas with like 20 kids, living in the ghetto, in the slums. So don't worry, honey. Whatever you're going through now, that girl that was slapped multiple times and you stood there and you took it, baby girl, your future is bright. And those people that did that to you, it is well, Daddy Freeze. Thank you for letting me share. But we go through it all around the world. It's happening in America, Nigeria, everywhere it's happening. Let's just be able to talk to our kids. Kids, also talk to your parents. Don't wait till it has reached you here, like me, before I had to cry out to my mom. Have that rapport. Talk to her, mommy, this is how I went. This is what went on in school today. Oh, they put me inside trash can and locked me in the bathroom. They poured ketchup on me. I stayed in the bathroom to eat my lunch that you cooked for me. Because if I take that lunch, that jollof rice and efo that you made for me with a little bit of iru, if I take it to the lunchroom and warm it, it will be smelling everywhere and they will be making fun of me. They will be laughing at me. So I had to eat that cold lunch you made for me inside the toilet in the bathroom, mommy.
Hey!
I'm tired. Don't wait to that extent. Anyways, before I start crying, let me go. Thank you, Daddy Freeze. I missed you.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you. Just be strong. And find it in your place, in your heart to forgive Tiffany Walker.
Forgive her.
Yeah. It's good to let it out. But I can't say I know what you went through. I remember when I was in school, there used to be one guy that I used to bully. I was in secondary school. He was like 4 years my junior or 3 years my judge. The boy just used to annoy me. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria now.
You see what I was saying?
If I see him now, I will call him your learned silk. He's been a senior advocate of Nigeria for 15 years. He grew very fast. Do you understand?
That's life.
So I know what it's like. I've been on the receiving end and on the give. Boy, see, when we are giving, it's not like 20 slaps. And when we are receiving too, it's not like 20 slaps. You understand? This one was a bit. And in that our day and time, it was more permissible. I'm not talking about abroad. I'm talking about Nigeria. Okay. They did it to the seniors. And you as a junior, when they are doing it to you, you will hope to become a senior so you can do it to other people's children.
It's a cycle.
You understand? So ours was an age grade thing.
Okay.
Those before you will do it to you, and you will do it to those after you. And then they try to reduce it every year, and then we don't want to agree because we're juniors. They will harass us. They will give you stone and tell you to go and buy meat pie and coke, and they're not born you and make you come with meat pie and coke. So you come begin. They beg people, say, please give me. That time meat pie was 50 kobo. Coke was 50 kobo. So you'll be begging people, please, can I have 1 naira? So people now gather 1 naira for you to go and buy Coke and meat pie for senior. The senior pick stone from floor. Say, take, buy me 2 meat pie. Sorry, buy me 1 meat pie, 1 Coke. The senior even nice. Tell you, make you will go buy 6 meat pie. Anyway, see you frustration, you go frustrate your life. You know? So at the end of the day, it wasn't as bad for us as it was for you, because it was a system that we also benefited from.
Okay.
But you did not benefit from the system. All it did was press you down. And whether we benefited from the system or not, it's not a system that we should encourage. It's not a system that we should foster. It's not a system that we should give the light of the day to blossom. It is a system that should end. And it can only come to an end if we decide to bring it to an end. So thank you so much, Ujolakwe, for sharing your story. I'm sorry about what you went through. And sometimes I see it in you, because this is not the first time you're mentioning it to me.
Oh, wow. You see? Wow. Uju, let it go. It's trauma.
It's not the first time. It's not the first time you've mentioned it to me.
Wow.
You've mentioned it to me several times, and you don't even realize it. So that's what worries me. Have you ever been de-traumatized?
I mean, I've done therapy. It doesn't bother me, trust me, but I've done therapy.
Because you don't even know that you've mentioned it to me several times.
Yeah,
You've
know.
even mentioned it to me once on a live. So that means it is bothering you in your subconscious. And here's what I worry about. You've forgiven Tiffany Walker. You guys literally chat on Facebook, but it is still this much of a burden to you. So
I think it was just
I'm going to try to talk to you privately. I'm going to try to talk to you one-on-one. Let's see if we can pick it up from there. Try to let it go. Try to actually let it go. Maybe I'm going to post this video on all my social media platforms. So just use this. So just use this as an outlet.
Okay, Daddy.
It's okay. Let me see your face. Be strong. Be strong. Be strong. Oju, baby.
I am.
Oh, yeah. Be strong. Be strong. I'm going to call you and we're going to talk, okay?
Okay, sir.
You know you're very special to me.
Yes, sir. I know.
Oh, yeah. Bele. Can you imagine childhood trauma? How old were you? When did this happen? 15 years ago? 16 years ago?
Yeah. Well, I came to America when I was 12, 14. And then I graduated when I was 15. Yeah. That's when it happened.
Wow. So that's literally 17, 18 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. You've shared it now. You've got to let it go.
Yeah.
You've got to let it go. Got to let it go. Growing up, I never enjoyed secondary school. I totally hated it.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I've ever said I totally hated it. And some of the guys there was one particular guy, he ended up becoming my best friend. He just despised me in secondary school.
For no reason.
For no reason. He just used to run me down. And I used to look up to him because he was one of the very cool guys. I'm not going to mention his name. We became best friends. And when I mentioned this to him, I said, you know, you were very mean to me in secondary school. He said, I can't remember. He used to annoy me. We became, and there was even a time when Taste Buds and I were going through some issues. He was one of the people who helped us then. So you never can tell where, yes, he was mean to me in secondary school. I wouldn't say he bullied me because he was my mate.
Okay.
Or 1 year my senior now repeated and joined us. You understand? But he was just mean. I remember one day there was a party we had there was this woman, I'm not going to mention her name, but if you lived in Ibadan then and you knew me, you would know this story. She was a teacher, not in our school. Her husband was a doctor in Saudi. So they used to have a home lesson in her house, and I used to attend. My mom paid, so I used to attend, and I was cool. Then one day, The woman invited us. The husband came back from Saudi and was throwing a party. And the woman invited us that attended the lesson. I said, come and party with us. So we showed up. That time I could drive. I had finished secondary school. So I drove down with my sisters who all used to attend the lesson. So we were all having a nice time. Then the dad came around. That was the first time I saw asun in my life. So the dad paid for a full goat to be grilled. And they were preparing the asun. So I remember the dad complaining, she asun tea ready, is the asun not ready? Because the dad be like, Jai guy. You understand? So it was like, is the asun not ready? So they were, so me too, I was this asun that they are talking about. I want to see what it's like. I want to eat it. So I sat down. These were all boys in my set in secondary school. I sat down with all of them. Me, I didn't really care about them because I knew we're not cool like that. And I was waiting for the asun. It would have been ready in another like 30 minutes. And I knew by the time I eat a plate, I was be able to go home and meet my coffee. Do you know this guy came? Now, the son of that doctor guy, whose mother had school, was my classmate too, from GSS1 to SS3. Okay. And this other guy that used to be mean to me was also there at the party. So this guy that used to be mean was the coolest guy in school back then. So he just showed up at the party. We're all waiting for asun. He just asked all my, are you the one that invited this guy? That one said, no, Mick, I don't know him. He asked everybody, including the son of the person doing the party. Now ask that one. You know, as they ask everybody, I don't know him from anywhere. I don't follow. I just sit on my own. But when he now asked the son of the person doing the party, say, do you know this guy? Are you the one that invited him? When that one said no, I had to get up and leave because I'm in their house. Okay. Am I going to tell him that it was his mother who was who was coordinating the lesson that invited him? Mother was cool. The father was cool. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's how the guy. I had to get up. I not chop asun that day till I reached Lagos. Many years later, I not chop asun. I just had to get up in shame and walk away. Now, guess what? The guy that started this thing never remembered this thing. He did not remember it. We became the closest. We became closest of friends. As in, the two of us, they go through your own thing. Me, they go through my own thing. We confide in each other. He was so close to me that I lived in Cool FM then. You know, living in a radio station, the amount of security. I'll just wake up one morning and come to my sitting room and see him there sitting down. He used to come to my house so much that the security people knew him. My house girl knew him. So if he came to the house, they would just everybody would put. I said, Baba, you there here? How far? We go gist. We became that close. So yes, you can. And there are some of them that I still had that, but I had to overcome it. That one that he didn't tell me to make I come out for him Papa house. He lost for America. We don't see him. No amazing achievements. Nothing. They say one day he go marry one Mexican woman. She break in teeth. You understand? So, Baba, forget to. I'm very proud of myself and what I've achieved in this life. You understand?
Yeah.
I have not met anyone of substance that says I don't know you. That I had to start introducing myself. I have not. I may not look like much, but I know how far I've gone. I went into the radio when nobody was going into the radio, and I made something out of the radio. And I left the radio and came online when nobody was online, and I know what I made out of online. Forget fame. They say fame without fortune is nuisance. I'm not a nuisance. This is a Rolex they did. 18 karat pure heavyweight in gold. So I thank God, but let me tell you something. At a point in my life, I had to prove everything to everybody. I always felt people were looking down on me. Because of that When I got to uni was a lot better. Primary school was cool. I enjoyed primary school. Uni was okay, not bad. I enjoyed uni, except for the wahala, the confra wahala, we scattered the school throughout that period. But uni for me was okay. At least I did carry my head up. Secondary school was horrible. Was a horrible part of my life. Me and Dr. John J went to the same secondary school. Maybe he had it easier. And maybe because I was first born, I had it a bit rough. Secondary school. And that secondary school mentality followed me into uni. And it still followed me into the real world. I'm 48 this year, so that makes me 15 years older than you. You have to start getting your healing now, so you can sit down with this Stephanie Walker and drink beer when you are my age. The last time I traveled to where this my friend was saying, I didn't drive me up and down from the time and I still fight with him, saying not get enough of my time. I still fight him, and the report to all my other friends say, now Lord share. Say, imagine I come this whole place. You don't get time to carry me up and down. Meanwhile, he was extremely mean to me in secondary school. But as God will have it, we became best friends. So always leave that room. Let me tell you, the greatest success you can ever have in this life, the greatest is success. I'll take that again because there was telling me 20 minutes. The greatest revenge you can ever have in your life is success. Whatever you do in life, be successful, Jolakwe. Be successful. People will want to associate with you. They'll forget the things they've done to you in the past. They will not, like when you told Tiffany, what God is saying, like, really? Me? They will remember say they teased you, but they don't know the extent to which they carried it.
Do you let them know? Like this video, when you whatever, I want to send it to her. Like, do you let them know, or you just let it go and you let them? They want to be your friends now. You let them come into your circle. No.
When I drive in my 2023 drop top, wear my rollie, and you know I like diamonds. You know, I developed. You see, that my same friend told me something in this life. He said, woman, I ain't they give man confidence. As a man, there was a time in my life I don't feel off clocks in front of a woman. I go the off light. I go the shame. You understand? I want to come. By the time you've been with like 20 girls, you go sit down naked for bed, and then go come and say, no, wear cloth. Why am I wearing cloth? Cloth that I will remove. What are we here for? Please, auntie, enter the door and close my. You start to, once you, I'm using this as an example. It might be a wrong example because I don't believe in that way of life anymore. I'm a preacher of the gospel, but I can tell you how I was. There was a girl that at a point in my life, I think I was 17 or 18, we almost got down, but we couldn't get down because I couldn't take off my clothes.